Namaste students, I am Dr. Pallavi Gupta. Today I am going to discuss what are the disqualifications of the membership of Parliament and State Legislature under the Representation of People Act 1951. Today in my lecture I will cover what is the general idea about the statutory disqualification those are mentioned under sections 8 to section 10A, and the disqualification on the ground of conviction of certain offences under various acts, disqualification on the ground of corrupt practices, disqualification for dismissal for the corruption or disloyalty to the state, disqualification for the government contract, and disqualification for office under the government, for office holding under the government company, disqualification for failure to lodge account of election expenses. These topics I will cover today in my lecture. Regarding the introduction and the general idea, the Constitution provides that apart from the disqualification laid down by the Constitution itself, Parliament may prescribe such other disqualification as deemed necessary. Parliament prescribes such disqualification for membership both for the Parliament and all state legislature. This qualification has been presently prescribed by the Parliament in Chapter 3 of Part 2 of the RP Act 1951. These qualifications are already I have discussed in the previous slide that disqualification on conviction of certain offences, the grounds of commission of corrupt practices, dismissal from the government services for corruption or disloyalty, disqualification for contract with appropriate government, disqualification for holding office under government company, disqualification for failure to lodge account of election expenses. So here it is necessary to know what is the meaning of disqualification and appropriate government. Disqualification is defined in section 7 subclause B that a person shall be disqualified only if he is so disqualified under chapter 3 of part 2, that is section 8 to section 10A of the Representation of People Act, to be chosen as a member of either House of Parliament or of State Legislative Assembly or Legislative Council of a state. Appropriate government means under section 7 subclause A, in relation to any disqualification for membership of Parliament, the central government in relation to any disqualification for membership of a state legislature, the government of any state concerned. You might understand by watching these pictures, as I have put a picture of the Supreme Court, High Court, as there is a role to disqualify a person, and a person may be disqualified, is out from the to contest the election. It is necessary to know what is the object behind this provision as disqualification on conviction for certain offences. Criminalization of politics is an anathema to the sacredness of democracy. Corruption mothers disorder, destroy societal will to progress, accelerate undeserved ambitions, kills the conscious, jettisons the glory of the institution, paralyze the economic health of a country, corrodes the sense of civility, and mars the marrow of governance. Conviction for certain offences, that is electoral, economic, or criminal, has been considered by the Parliament a sufficient ground for disqualification of the convicted person for membership of Parliament and of state legislature under Section 8. In the case of K. Prabhakaran versus P. Jayarajan, in 2002, Supreme Court has observed regarding the purpose of enacting disqualification under Section 8. It says that these disqualifications is to prevent criminalization of politics. Those who break the law could not make the law. Generally speaking, the purpose sought to be achieved by enacting disqualification on conviction for certain offences is to prevent persons with criminal background from entering into politics and the House. That is a powerful wing of the governance. Persons with criminal background do pollute the process of election as they do not have many holds barred and have no reservation from indulging into criminality to win success at an election. Thus, Section 8 seeks to promote freedom and fairness at election, as also law and order being maintained while the elections are being held. Regarding the classification of offences under Section 8, Parliament has classified offences into three categories, having regard to the nature and gravity of those offences and their impact on the proper constitution of the legislature. The first category is of those offences which where the mere conviction itself, without reference to any quantum of punishment thereof, attract the disqualification for a minimum period of 6 years from the date of conviction. The offences falling in this category are listed in Section 8, Subclause 1. The disqualification under this Section 8, Subclause 1 is for a period of 6 years from the date of conviction where the convicted person is sentenced to fine only. Where, however, the convicted person is sentenced to imprisonment for any period, he shall be disqualified from the date of conviction and shall continue to be disqualified for a further period of 6 years since his release. In the second category, it included those offences where the conviction should result in a sentence of imprisonment for not less than 6 months to attract the disqualification. These offences are specified in Section 8, Subclause 2, and the resultant disqualification runs during the period of sentence of imprisonment and for a further period of 6 years from the release. The third category is under Section 8, Subclause 3. It includes all other offences for which a person is convicted and sentenced to imprisonment for not less than 2 years. Here also the disqualification is operative during the period of sentence of imprisonment and for a further period of 6 years from his release. So at least disqualification is for the period of 6 years. It can be further for 6 years. It depends upon the classification of offences under which category it is coming. So the first category of offences is specified in section 8 subclause 1, which attract disqualification on mere conviction, as mentioned in section 153A, that is offense of promoting enmity between the different groups on the ground of religion, race, place of birth, residence, language, etc. And the offense under section 171E, that is bribery, section 171F, that is offense of undue influence at an election, section 376, 76A, 376B, 376C, 376D means offense related to the rape, or section 498A, offense of the cruelty towards a woman by husband or their relatives, section 1505, offense of making classes, offense of making statement creating enmity, hatred between the classes, or make any statement in any place of worship or in any assembly engaged in the performance of religious worship. And these section means a person convicted of an offense punishable under various section of IPC will be disqualified. And the B part is that a person is convicted of offense punishable under Civil Rights Act 1955. A person convicted of offense punishable under the Custom Act, of course, offenses of importing or exporting prohibited goods. A person convicted of offense punishable under the Unlawful Prevention Act 1967. And the person is convicted of offense punishable under the Foreign Exchange Management Act. A person is convicted of offense punishable under the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substance Act 1985. A person is convicted of the offense under the TADA, of course, section 3. And person is convicted of the offense under the Religious Institution Prevention of Misuse Act 1988, of course, under section 7 or 3 to 6. And a person is the convicted of offense under the or we can say under the Representation of People Act, that is section 125. Offense of promoting enmity between the classes, section 135. Offense of removal of the ballot paper from polling station, 125 and 135. Section 135A, offense of booth capturing, or the section 136, offense of fraudulently defacing or fraudulently destroying any nomination paper. If the person is convicted of offense under the Place of Worship Special Provision Act 1991, a person is convicted of the offense under the uh, under the Prevention of Insult to National Honor Act, that is the offense of insulting the Indian national flag or the Constitution of India, or offense of preventing singing of the national anthem. A person is convicted of offense or offense punishable under the Commission of Salt, under the Prevention of the Commission of Sati Prevention Act 1987. By mistake, here I have written the just office. It's not the office, offenses. I am sorry. I apologize by writing this office. A person is convicted of offense punishable under the Prevention of Corruption Act 1988. A person convicted of offense punishable under Prevention of Terrorism Act 2002. They shall be disqualified where the convicted person is sentenced to only fine for a period of 6 years from the date of such conviction, and they shall be qualified where the convicted person is sentenced to imprisonment from the date of such conviction and shall continue to be disqualified for a further period of 6 years since his release. And in subclause 2, section 8, subclause 2, a person is convicted for contravention of the law relating to prevention of hoarding or profiteering. A person is convicted for the offense of any law relating to the adulteration of food or drugs, or a person is convicted for the offense of any provision of the Dowry Prohibition Act 1961. And this person convicted for the offense for the contravention of this provision and sentenced to imprisonment for not less than 6 months, they shall be disqualified from the date of such conviction and shall continue to be disqualified for a further period of 6 years since his release. Section 8, subclause 3 is saying that a person convicted of any offense and sentenced to imprisonment for not less than 2 years, they shall be disqualified from the date of such conviction and shall continue to be disqualified for a further period of 6 years since his release. Here, any offense means the offenses which are not covered under section 8 subclause 1 and section 8 subclause 2. Beside those offenses, they shall be disqualified for a period of 6 years since his release. And section 8 subclause 4 says that the disqualification, here I should write disqualification here, qualification means I apologize. This disqualification shall not take place. This disqualification shall not take place till the 3 months have elapsed from the date of or till the if appeal is filed or revision is filed, till the appeal or revision is disposed of. So this is section 8 subclause 4. So it is very clear that under the 3 category of the offenses, if they are convicted of any offense of any of these 3 categories, they will be disqualified for to be chosen as a member of Parliament or state legislature. Now section 8A is talking about the disqualification on the ground of corrupt practices. The disqualification on the ground of corrupt practices. That is, we can say here, if a person commit a corrupt practice at an election, it can be called in question in an election petition filed before the High Court of a state concerned in accordance with the provision of Article 329 subclause B under Part 6 of the RP Act 1951. If the High Court in the trial of the election petition or the Supreme Court on appeal finds a person guilty of commission of corrupt practices, it names him so by an order under Section 99 of the RP Act 1951. Such guilty person may invite disqualification for contesting election in future to the Parliament and State Legislature under Section 8A subclause 1. The maximum period for which he can be so disqualified is 6 years from the date the order of the court find him guilty takes place. The person who stand disqualified under section 8A may submit a petition to the president for the removal of such disqualification for the unexpired portion of the said period. And subclause 3 is saying before giving his decision, the president shall obtain the opinion of the election commission on such question or petition and shall act according to such opinion. So this is disqualification on the ground of commission of the corrupt practices. Now section 9 is saying about the disqualification for dismissal from the government service for the corruption or disloyalty. It says that a person who is holding an office under the government of India or under the government of any state has been dismissed for corruption or for disloyalty to the state shall be disqualified for a period of 5 years from the date of such dismissal. Here it is important to know for this disqualification, a certificate must be issued by the election commission to that effect that a person having held office under the government of India or under the government of any state has been dismissed or has not been dismissed for corruption or for disloyalty to the state, it shall be a conclusive proof, meaning thereby a certificate issued in this regard by the election commission shall be conclusive evidence. So this is the disqualification. Although here the term corruption and disloyalty has not been defined, so these words have to be take their respective meaning from the other relevant law like the Prevention of Corruption Act 1988 and the Indian Penal Code 1916. Now the section 9A is saying that disqualification for the government contract, for the contract with the government. A person shall be disqualified if a contract subsist entered into subsist between the person and the government who is entered into by him in the course of his trade or business with the appropriate government for the supply of the goods or for the execution of any work, or it has been undertaken by the government, meaning thereby a contract by a person with the government may also disqualify him for the membership of the parliament and of the state legislature. The intention behind is that it has to be ensured that there is no conflict between the public duty and the private interest. So what is important to make a disqualification is that there must be a contract subsist between the person who is going to contest election and the government. where a contract has been fully performed by the person by whom it has been entered into with the appropriate government, the contract shall be deemed not to be subsist by reason only of the fact that the government has not performed is part of the contract either wholly or in part. Meaning thereby, if from the end of the person, if contract is executed, in that case it will not work as a disqualification. Now, section 10 is section 10 is talking about the disqualification for the offense under the for the office under the government company. And here it is saying that a person shall be disqualified if a person shall be disqualified if he is managing agent, manager or secretary of any company or corporation, that is of course government company, and in the capital of that company there is a portion of the appropriate government that is not less than 25% shares. So that person shall be disqualified. And now the section 10A is talking about the disqualification for failure to lodge a election expenses. As per norm, every candidate at an election to the House of the People or the State Legislative Assembly has to keep and maintain a separate account of his election expenses incurred or authorized by him or by his election agent between the date on which he has been nominated as such candidate and the date of declaration of the result of the election, both date inclusive. The law further requires that every contesting candidate shall lodge a true copy of the account of his election expenses with the district election officer of the district in which his constituency falls within a period of 30 days from the date of the declaration of the result of the election. If the election commission is satisfied that a person has failed to lodge an account of the election expenses within the time and the prescribed manner as under the act, and there is no reasonable reason or justification for such failure, the election commission shall declare him to be disqualified, and any such person shall be disqualified for a period of 3 years from the date of the order. So here the disqualification will be for the 6 year, or in case of the sentence of the imprisonment given, it will be for further 6 year till he release, and if he is dismissed for the corruption, it may be for 5 year. Disqualification may be for 5 year, or in the case of loss to fail to lose the expense, the disqualification will be for a period of 3 years. So this is all about disqualification for the membership of parliament and state legislature. In my next lecture I will discuss some case laws relating to the disqualification for membership of parliament and state legislature. Thank you very much for listening me and watching me. Bye bye students.